The world is on a hunt for innovation, the space race, the search for better communication and cheaper energy, to mention just a few. Despite this race for new ways of getting things done, many countries are yet to get on board the tech drive. The story of Nigeria's science and technology hopefully will be different soon, as we await the tech hubs in different themes across the country. Can Nigeria take the lead off the current limits to explore the wonders of the tech world in her socio-cultural and academic arena? Well, the Science and Technology Expo is putting the country in the right direction. The second edition just ended in Abuja, but what happens to the inventions it produced? That is our focus on Nigeria today. I am Shegun Ojelade. There you've just seen some of the products, inventions at the just concluded Technological Expo, which held in Abuja. Now, I'm being joined in the studio by the Director General of the National Office for Technology, Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAP, Dr. Ibrahim Dan Asumi. I welcome you to the program.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Nigerians.
Yeah. I also have with me in the studio one of the winners at the just concluded Expo, of the Technology Expo. He is a scientist and he won an award in 2009 for developing the smallest microchip at a global science competition in China. I'm talking of Michael Friday. Michael Friday is an electrical engineer and an inventor. I welcome you, Michael Friday.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
I will start with you, DG.
Yes.
Nations' development are driven by technology and innovation. Where is Nigeria, or what drives our own development here in Nigeria as we have today?
Well, thank you very much. Yes, you are absolutely right. The development of any nation thrives on its effort to develop technologies that could power its own economy. And Nigeria cannot be an exception. National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion, because of what we do, we register technologies coming into the country. We see those ones that are appropriate to come into our country and we register them. From the registration exercises, we realize that more than 90% of the technologies that power the Nigerian economy are imported. Is it in the manufacturing sector? Is it in the ICT sector? Is it in the road construction sector? Is it in the banking sector? In every sector of life. So certainly it's a nation that is thriving to become economically independent. We can't just fold our arms and allow it business as usual to remain a consumer of foreign technologies.
Why is that so?
Yes, first of all, you have to ponder on where are those technologies generated. Technologies are product of research and development activities, are product of skills, are products of knowledge. And they are normally generated from research and development efforts and normally carried out in universities, polytechnics, and research establishments. If you look at the educational system in the country, how are they faring in terms of funding? Like any other sector, not all the sectors are well funded. And when it comes to education, it's not an exceptional sector. So research and development, even within the educational sector, research and development is most affected. That is why you see good part of the research and development efforts carried out by Nigerians, researchers in universities, polytechnics. In my own opinion, majority of them are basic researchers.
Now, Michael Friday, you're a scientist, engineer, and you've done some work inventing and winning awards. If you are to contribute to what the DG just said, why are most of those things that we rely upon in terms of technology to run our economy, why are they coming from abroad?
Well, good evening, everyone. And from our studies being carried out around Nigeria and other African countries, I can tell you that the reason why our dependency is on other countries of the world that are striving in their science and technology is just because one thing we must note is that we don't look around to profile solution for what is responsible for our immediate and environment needs and challenges. Like now, take for example, you go to China, you go to America, you go to Europe, I've been to those countries and all of that. They create their solution from their immediate need. Now, you look at, let me take example like NTA as an organization now. You have, maybe you encounter a particular challenge, you want to solve a problem. The next place you are thinking about is should be either China, Europe, or America. Not even looking inward for those that can provide this solution around our country. Meanwhile, we have so many people that are striving on their own, trying to create a mark. It's just like, for example, when I was to tender a product for that competition in China, I designed this product with Intel. And after we've concluded the product, a particular company wants to purchase the product from me. They write from me, and I said, no, I'm not going to do that. And if I would have given into that opportunity ahead of that competition, I wouldn't have even emerged as a winner or somebody to reckon with at the end of the day. So what I'm trying to tell us as Nigerian and scientists that are
Michael Friday.
Yes, sir.
Where does that lead you? You have an invention, like many Nigerians have invented very good products that could solve some problems. You did. And then somebody comes up and says, I'm ready to buy this, I'll give you money. Now, where is the invention today? Maybe if you are giving out like many people who have done in the past, maybe you'll be a multi-millionaire today.
Yes, that is looking at immediate gain. Now, I sacrifice that for my future and for the future of Nigeria. If I jump at that offer and I make that money, by today, maybe I'll be enjoying the money somewhere in America, flying business class up and down, and then cruising around. But I said, no, there will be a time that this product will speak for itself. And I reserve it, and I say that one day it will come to pass that somebody will mention and say, this is developed from Nigeria and is coming from the shores of Nigeria. Okay. So if we are committed to this, it won't be long. And at the end of the day, we will emerge among the committees of nations that are coming up in science and
I will come back to you on some of these areas you have mentioned. What the other side, the flip side of that question is there are a number of inventions by brilliant Nigerians that are warming the shelves. That's what I'm trying to say. Those who have the means are not coming up to want to develop. What is the problem? Where is the disconnect between invention and mass production for use?
You see, thank you very much. You see, there's a difference between a researcher and entrepreneurship. A researcher concludes his research, comes out with a prototype. The researcher may not have the money to move it to the next level. Who do we expect to come in? The private sectors are expected to come in. the governments at different levels are expected to come. But what is most important, before you are able to translate any research and development effort into products and services to attract any funding from either entrepreneurs or anybody who wants to make money, you have to first of all protect that intellectual property.
Okay, that's
it's like, yeah, it's like certificate of occupancy of your intellectual activity. If maybe you have a piece of land that does not have certificate of occupancy, anybody can encroach on that. So also your intellectual capabilities. If you have an invention, first and foremost, protect it so that you have the monopoly of making money out of it alone, nobody else. Okay. Nobody can go into it. So there is a very weak culture of intellectual property here in this country.
That is where some people may probably not be impressed by some of the impressive inventions we had at the expo that is just concluded. That, well, just like the past edition, the inventions will still go and be warming the desks somewhere. Now, what must be done to actually translate some of these innovations, inventions, and this question will also come to you, Michael Friday. What must be done so that we begin to use inventions locally to solve local problems, not going to China like Friday said?
I understand perfectly. When the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonna Onu, came on board, he worked hard to have what we call National Research and Innovation Council. It's a council that is expected to focus on the research and development needs of this country. And this is chaired by Mr. President. Why Mr. President must have to chair it is because science and technology cuts across all the ministries. So if the president calls a meeting, every minister must key in. So it's a national assignment. So under this, there is what is going to be National Research and Innovation Fund. Okay. That fund is what would be expected to be utilized to move some of those research and development efforts to the next level. Okay. If the private sectors are not coming, then government, as far as we are concerned, we have responsibilities to move those research and development efforts to the next level of commercialization. Okay. So I'm sure when the bill has been passed by the Senate, and I think it has been sent to the National House of Reps for concurrency. Okay. By the time we have the legal framework of this, the Research and Development Fund will be in place. And some of these viable research and development efforts could be moved from the level they are to the next level of commercialization.
You want to make some comments on this?
Yes, sir. Looking at the Nigerian situation, so to say, like in China, I am privileged to be involved with so many of these things out there. But I know that there are many colleagues, like when I was coming up, that don't even have the access to travel outside of the country to even know what is going on there. Now, from what my DG just said, I pray and I wish that this will come to pass one day. Because if you look at it today, in a normal China innovator or an engineer, you just come up with an idea and their offices are in every local area. You don't have to travel to Abuja. You don't have to go to Lagos to assess them and all of that. You take your product in there. I have this idea. I want to put it out there. We have Alibaba. We have Global Source. We have all of these things. They will tell you, post this work. Let's see what people are going to, how people are going to respond to this particular product. And before you know it, if there are others coming in, you don't need any collateral, you don't need anything to access funds from their federal government to produce that particular product and hit the market immediately. And the reason why they create that enabling environment is to help their indigenes, help the people that are coming up, to even, people have more interest in developing science and tech after school rather than looking for a white collar job. You understand? So at the end of the day, if we can borrow this kind of ideas, this kind of innovative approach toward our science and technology development, it will help the general masses. If I start telling you now how far I've come...
I was coming to that you've had the number of award-winning inventions yourself.
Yes, sir.
Why have you not been able to translate one of them into products that we can go on the shelf and purchase?
Yes, we have a few products on the shelf that you can purchase at the moment, though limited to some organization and all of that. But the truth of the matter is that the present government, I think they are coming up with so many efforts that will come on board alongside whatever has been existing. But I can tell you, before he assumed power today as the DG of NOTAB, I'm very much familiar with the NOTAB of the past. I remember as at 2009, 2010, I filed more than 12 patents in a single day. And it was just like a year ago that first of the patent was even awarded to us.
You know what, Mr. Friday? Just give me one second. We want to take a short break. Right. Don't forget your line of thoughts. We'll be right back. The program is Nigeria Today. We're looking at driving the Nigerian economy with local inventions and innovation against the backdrop of the just concluded Technology Expo. The program, we take a short break now. My guests are still around.
Coming up on NTA News 24, Nigeria Today, 7:30, Monday to Friday, with exciting anchors on topical issues. Inspirators, a search for those who inspire others. Business 24, a business magazine program. Late edition repackaged. Fresh and exciting programming on NTA News 24. Stay with us.
Welcome back. The program Nigeria Today continues on innovation and technology in Nigeria. Now, before we went on break, Michael Friday, you were talking about the number of patents that you got under the previous regime at NOTAB. Did it come to anything?
Yeah, like one of the challenges we had then was that when some of those patents were filed, we're given a requisition that you should bring your prototype first and all of that. I've been privileged to have gotten more than 20 patents from the United States of America, well certified, issued, and all of that. So now that our present government, they are coming up with ideas on how to soft pedals on some of those things to promote science and tech development, I want to encourage our director, the Minister of Science and Tech, and every stakeholders that are on board. The board was just inaugurated how many days ago, and all of that, that they should try as much as possible to make it more easier for people to access the office, to access resources, funding, which is the most important. Like now, I remember one day I approached one of the banks that this is a product I've passionately developed,
yes,
spent so much money. I remember I've sold my car before to make sure that I come up with an idea. And at the end of the day, you need how much to push these things to the market. And the next thing, they will tell you, if you need 100 million, bring a collateral of 300 million before you can access fund. All of those things are the biggest challenges we are having today. But I want to believe with everything that have been put in place. Last year, Expo, I was not there. Why was I not there? I said, they have nothing to offer. But when I watched everything that happened during the Expo and all of that, this year, we decided to come and showcase one of our products that the world is waiting for. It's not just a local product that is limited to Nigeria alone.
I learned it's a bike.
Yeah, it's not just a bike. The same technology can power a vehicle, can power a tricycle, and as time goes on, we can use it to power a plane. So it's 100% developed, ready to hit the market. You can imagine yourself coming to the office. As you are coming to the office, driving your vehicle, you are generating energy for your immediate movement. And when you are done moving around, you come back again, you have a reserve energy to power your home with the same vehicle you traveled with. So I think if we can have all of this in our neighborhood, the problem of darkness, even in the center of Abuja, will be solved.
Okay. We wish you the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Let's continue. Now, DG, now he has enumerated a number of problems, some of which are not too hidden from you.
Yeah.
Now, government is planning a kind of tech hubs. Is it along the line of some of the requests, I mean, he's talking about to solve some of these problems that we have on ground?
Yeah. Well, thank you. Let me first of all react to the difficulty he had in getting his technology patented. NOTAP assists inventors to get patent certificates. NOTAP doesn't issue certificates.
Okay.
But what we do as a technology agency, when we see any striking innovation, we help the inventor to fill the forms, write the claims, take it to the patent registry, pay for the patenting fee. We only call him to come, only call the inventor to come and collect his certificate. What happened in the previous years, the patent registry had a lot of challenges. So when we came on board and we felt there was the need for us to synergize efforts to see how we can help one another in order to serve our country better, we sat down with the management of the patent registry. What are the challenges? What are the areas we could be able to offer assistance? I'm telling you, after overcoming some of those challenges, there is a dramatic. In 2016, we had only 6 patents out. Sorry, in 2015, we had 6 patents out. In 2016, we had 16 out. By the end of 2017, we had 50 patent certificates came
So
out.
you've been able to solve that problem?
We've been able to solve that problem.
What about this?
The other challenge, the other challenge is the funding. As we talked to you about the experiences in China they have a structure on ground that would ensure any viable innovation could move to the next level. And that is the same structure we are trying to establish in this country. Private sector certainly cannot come to invest when it is not absolutely sure of the invention. So, but for now, for us to kickstart, we feel the government must have to come in. That is why when this Research and Innovation Fund comes into being, it will just be like an access for the inventors to have funds that could move it from the level they have to the next level.
Okay. Now, when we started this program, I think you were the one that said something like, when we have a problem, a need in this country, rather than think locally, we think globally. We start thinking about China. What gives you the assurance that if at the end of the day you are able to get funds to begin to mass produce, Nigerians will not say, well, this one is Nigeria made. Can you give me the one that is from America or from China? Yeah, having faith in local products.
It all depends on the kind of solution you are coming out with. For instance, a researcher or an innovator don't see anything at its completed state. That means if you see a car, you are not looking at the beauty of that car. You are looking at the deficiency of that car. And that is what makes us different from a normal market man. You walk into a hospital, you see an oxygen concentrator being used on a patient. You are not seeing the perfectness of that concentrator. You are looking at what to add to make it different. By the time you are coming up with innovations that have something to add that somebody does not have, like everybody that ride keke in Abuja all over Nigeria today, they have to go to a filling station to buy oil, they buy petrol, they buy this and that, they fix it, they change the rings and all of that and all of that. And we come up with an innovation to write off all of those things. You don't need to buy oil to service it. You don't need to buy petrol to ride it. You don't need to buy rings that, okay, this ring is bad, because the kind of DC drive motor we use can last for as much as 40-50 years without wearing out and all. They are not, they are brushless motors and all of that. So, and again, not just that. Then you come back home in the evening and you want to watch NTA or you want to watch a cartoon, and then you say, no NEPA, which is a normal problem we are still battling with today. It's okay, my tricycle is parked outside. I can take some amount of energy from that tricycle and watch my TV. So if such product is out there, nobody will look out to China because you cannot find it.
Okay.
You look to India, you cannot find it. So I want to encourage all our innovators and then our leaders that are now paving way for us to strive in this system, to just look at the product that are meeting immediate need of Nigeria. Okay. And by that, nobody will argue with whatever you are putting on the table.
Okay. Now, DG, as the representative of the government on this program, there are innovators out there that are already disillusioned, probably by their experiences and the fact that some of these things that he's talking about has really discouraged them. How will you motivate such individuals against the backdrop of some of the very good intentions of government and plans? So how do you begin to motivate Nigerian inventors and innovators?
You see, this Techno Expo we have had, the first edition and the second edition, is another avenue to expose the talent our researchers, our scientists have been able to demonstrate. They have come out with quite a number of technologies, and some of the technologies are not really in the refined stage. If you were there at the first Techno Expo, and now you go and witness what had happened recently, you will see there is a sharp difference. A sharp difference in the sense that that exposure has given the researchers to appreciate the critics Nigerians say about their products. By the time they go back, they improve on that. So we have a responsibility to expose them, but fundamentally, even if we expose them and we don't provide a facility to move it to the next level, it remains a problem. That is why I say that Research and Innovation Fund that is fast coming should be able to help to move some of those research and development efforts into products and services as experienced in China.
Okay. Now, I must thank you, gentlemen, for all that you said on the program. DG Notab, Dr. Dan Azumi, thank you for your comments on the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And Michael Friday, we thank you also for your comments on the program.
Thank you, sir.
Now, this is where we call it a date on the program, Nigeria Today. On behalf of every one of us in the studio, thank you very much for joining us. I am Shegun Ojelade. Next to come your way will be on Monday. Bye-bye.